On Monday, December 12, 2022, the brain behind crypto firm FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, known as the King of Crypto, was taken into police custody at his Nassau apartment complex around 6 p.m. local time at the request of the U.S. authorities. Was the FTX collapse his fault entirely? What more is there to the story? Will users get their money back? This video will tell you all you need to know. Sam Bankman-Fried, also known as SBF, was the founder and former CEO of the crypto firm FTX. After his business failed, he resigned as CEO and is now under criminal investigation. Bankman-Fried was renowned for his political connections, giveaways, and bailouts of other failing businesses. His contributions made him one of the most prominent characters in the cryptocurrency sector. After Bankman-Fried got arrested, he returned to the U.S. and was released on a $250 million bail deal. He was obliged to wear an electronic surveillance bracelet as part of his bail terms and was primarily restricted to his parents' California home, who are Stanford University law professors. Bankman-Fried was charged with the prosecution of using FTX customers' money illegally to finance investments and pay off debts at his other business, Alameda. He has refuted the 8 criminal accusations, some of which are wire fraud, money laundering, and breaches of campaign finance laws. Before his arrest, Bankman-Fried spoke with BBC News and claimed, "I didn't knowingly commit fraud. I don't think I committed fraud. I didn't want any of this to happen. I was certainly not nearly as competent as I thought I was." How did all these start? Notably, the issues with the crypto market did not come from emptiness. Circumstances, terrible decisions, and lousy regulatory practices caused these issues. To understand how these came to be, it's necessary to start from the beginning. Bankman-Fried attended the premier U.S. research institution, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, where he majored in math and physics. He remembered being involved in the effective altruism movement, a group of individuals trying to find out what practical things you can do with your life to have as much beneficial influence as you can on the world, in a BBC radio interview. To earn as much money as he could to donate to charitable organizations, he decided to enter the banking industry. Before becoming tired and trying out Bitcoin, he learned how to trade equities at the trading company Jane Street in New York. According to Coin Bureau, he saw trading potential in the cryptocurrency market in 2017 and, together with his friend and former Google employee Gary Wang, established a trading firm called Alameda Research. Bankman-Fried was aware that pricing for Bitcoin varied from nation to nation, so he bought Bitcoin at a low price in the US and profitably sold it in Japan. What Bankman-Fried did is called arbitrage trading. Arbitrage trading is taking advantage of differences in the price of the same asset across multiple marketplaces. With only $200 initially, he soon had daily deals between $10 million and $15 million. Quite the monumental growth. He joined together with several undergraduate mates and launched a trading company named Alameda Research after a month of getting minor gains. Alameda Research worked with crypto exchanges to supply liquidity and soon amassed enough wealth to establish itself as a major player in the cryptocurrency industry. Bankman-Fried decided to expand Alameda Research by starting a futures trading business. According to a Forbes story, he reached out to Binance with the proposal, but the business was reluctant to participate. Alameda Research became a significant force in institutional trading and crypto market creation. Sam Bankman-Fried and Gary Wang created FTX in May 2019. While they were both traders at Jane Street Capital, Bankman-Fried hired Caroline Ellison, who eventually became the chief executive of Alameda Research. The FTX CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, stayed in that position. Bankman-Fried continued to hold 90% of Alameda even after he stepped down as its president. Alameda also traded on FTX. According to Mr. Bankman-Fried, Alameda has no exclusive benefits on FTX, but recent information kicks against his claim. According to bankruptcy statements, Alameda had a hidden exemption that hid its shady nature from auditors, which allowed Alameda to assume more risk than other clients. Caroline Ellison, CEO of Alameda Research, maintained her position despite having no professional experience in trading. Without their knowledge or consent, Bankman-Fried seems to be accepting billions of dollars in customer funds that FTX loaned to Alameda. When FTX secured $900 million in July 2021, to be valued at $18 billion, things were going well for the company. It increased its social capital by signing a $135 million, 19-year deal with the Miami Heat, the U.S. basketball club. However, according to recent developments, the Heat has chosen to cut ties with FTX. There were questions about a 3-year-old firm signing a 19-year deal, but Bankman-Fried had achieved a performance that implied his business was under control for the next few years. Maybe the lock wasn't effective enough because things soon began to nosedive. The end of FTX happened during a 10-day span in November 2022. The turning point came on November 2nd when a cryptocurrency news website, CoinDesk, broke the revelation that Alameda Research had a holding worth $5 billion in FTT, the FTX native coin. That raised questions about Bankman-Fried's unreported debt and solvency across the cryptocurrency sector. The next day, FTX was going through a liquidity crisis. The wealthy owner of the competing exchange, Binance, Changpeng Zhao, also known as CZ, said he would sell all of his FTT holdings. Customers started withdrawing their money in a panic. Bankman-Fried tried to convince FTX investors that their funds were secure. But days after the CoinDesk revelation, customers sought withdrawals totaling $6 billion. Before moving to Binance, Bankman-Fried looked for help with funding from venture investors. In only 2 days, the price of FTT dropped by more than 80%. With this massive drop, the world's biggest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance, attempted to bail out its close competitor by buying over the non-US business of FTX for an unknown price on November 8th, when it said it had struck a non-binding agreement to do so. The promise of rescue was short-lived as Binance withdrew from the agreement the next day. Binance said on November 9th that it would abandon buying the FTX after a corporate check revealed concerns regarding the improper management of client assets. The California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation said on November 10th that an inquiry against FTX had been opened. On Twitter, Sam Bankman-Fried acknowledged the liquidity and apologized for FTX's non-US exchange's poor customer satisfaction. On November 11th, 2022, FTX declared bankruptcy after an increase in client withdrawals earlier in the month. Bankman-Fried disclosed about 130 other connected firms that were involved in the situation. Within hours of declaring bankruptcy, FTX claimed it had been the target of unauthorized transactions, and for that, and for security reasons, it would shift its digital assets to cold storage. According to researchers from outside companies, the suspected attack may have led to the theft of $477 million from FTX. Elliptic, a crypto compliance service, discovered it. For many days, the hacker used on-chain spoofing, as researchers refer, to empty wallets. According to reports, the hacker bought Ether, ETH, using that money. What more? 5-star celebrities who openly supported FTX have been named as defendants in an $11 billion class action lawsuit. Some celebrities mentioned in the Florida lawsuit are Tom Brady, Gisele Bündchen, Shaquille O'Neal, Steph Curry, and Larry David. It asserts that around $11 billion in damages to American customers have been caused by Bankman-Fried and the celebrities he enlisted to advertise the company. BlockFi Incorporated, a cryptocurrency lender that received a line of credit from FTX in 2022, also went into bankruptcy the same year as FTX. Genesis Global Capital, which had loans to Alameda that were still due, is attempting to get a sizable sum of money in no time. Both withdrawals have stopped. According to Bankman-Fried, he was unaware of the extent of the issues. Bankman-Fried hasn't shied away from public eyes since he left FTX. He has frequently said in media appearances that he had no plan to defraud anybody. He also tried to separate himself from his trading company. The founder and CEO of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, once stopped the May 2022 collapse of cryptocurrency firms, including BlockFi and Voyager Digital. 6 months later, Bankman-Fried's crypto firm would need rescuing, but sadly, no one would be there to save it from the $8 billion catastrophe it drowned in. Who could have thought? FTX had an estimated 1.2 million registered customers who bought Bitcoin and hundreds of other cryptocurrency tokens on the exchange. While overseeing this, Bankman-Fried seemed to enjoy sharing details about his lifestyle with his Twitter followers. He's an avid gamer, and he explained why to his Twitter followers. Playing games was his way to distract his mind from running $2 billion trading companies non-stop every day. With an image of him resting next to his colleagues at their trading terminals, he claimed that he mostly sleeps on a beanbag next to his desk at the workplace. "Mostly, I sleep on a beanbag," he told his Twitter followers. Bankman-Fried was distributing bailout money worth hundreds of millions of dollars, while other businesses in the sector were struggling. The Wall Street Journal published more allegations that Alameda Research used FTX client money as loans for trading. After a court hearing on December 22nd, a federal judge decided to free Bankman-Fried after his lawyers and federal prosecutors came to a $250 million bail agreement. The 30-year-old ex-crypto executive will wear an electronic surveillance bracelet, be restricted to the Northern California region, and reside with his parents, Stanford law professors, in Palo Alto, California. It will take some time for the wider effects of the FTX disaster on the Bitcoin market to become clear. Investors may become even more hesitant due to FTX. Customers using the FTX platform may not get their assets back, and this might lead to legal action. The failure of FTX may prompt the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and other authorities to increase their scrutiny of cryptocurrencies. How else do you think the FTX collapse will be felt? Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching till the end, and remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.